What's going on, YouTube? I'm sitting in here in the garage with Ducky over there and Gigi over here, and on a day when it was supposed to be 60-some degrees and no rain, and it got just into the 50s and rained all day. Here in East Tennessee, we've had 7 inches of rain so far, rain and snow. We've had a lot of snow for an area that never snows. I want to ask you guys a favor. Jersey Nick Moto, I'll put his link below. He's at 970 some subscribers and he really wants to get to 1,000. Now I'm sure probably most of you guys have subbed him already, but those of you who haven't, if you please could check out his channel. If you like it, give him a subscribe. But he really wants to get to 1,000 and I'd like to help him get there. Now on to the reason for the video. I've got to go out on a ride or two here and there, but honestly, I have nothing to talk about. So I figured I'd do this. It's kind of a product review, sorta. I've been seeing a lot of Feuling dipstick promos from other channels. Meathead Moto did one. He did a good one. The Ornery one did one. Feuling, if you don't know, Feuling vented dipsticks are for the M8 engine because of the crankcase pressure that builds up in them, and then you start getting oil blowing out of your air filter. This is supposed to help alleviate it by venting all the pressures in the crank. So I looked into the Feuling because I had that problem after I went up to New Jersey. That was a 670 so mile one way. I did it in 11 hours, hard riding, hot as hell. And that's when this problem started with me. And I just had the oil changed, and Harley did it. So I started looking into the Feuling dipstick, the vented dipsticks. And at that time, $299. Now they're $279. They are billet aluminum. It's a dipstick with a quick coupler on it. Vent hose goes to the quick coupler. If you don't know, and then it vents through that. I am not paying $299 or $279 for a piece of billet aluminum with a hole in it. So I started doing a little research on it, and I came across Mad Monkey Motorsports. I'll put a link to them below. It is a vented dipstick with a screw-in dipstick, and I will show you in a second. The only difference that I seen between, it's billet aluminum, the only difference I seen between the Mad Monkey and the Feuling is the Feuling has almost like a pre-filter that goes in line before you hook the hose up. It's like a 2-piece cap, and you put filters in the cap. Look it up, you'll see what I mean. This one does not have that. It's a piece of pretty hefty billet aluminum. But the best part is $119. Now I still think that's pretty expensive for a piece of aluminum, but it's a whole lot better than $279 or $299. Like I said, I'll put the link below, but here, let me show you what it's like. Right there is the cap. You can see the line coming up, and then I have it coming up here and around to a catch can. To get this dipstick out, and this is where the Feuling is probably a lot better than this. To get this dipstick out, you got to rotate this cap a little bit, unscrew this right here, that right there, and then you got to kind of finagle it. And this is, like I said, this is where the Feuling is probably a lot better. I don't know because I've never owned one, so I couldn't tell you. But, and then you got to kind of get it out. All right. And then putting it back in is the same thing. And I'm scared I'm going to mess up these threads on this. So that's why I don't do it this way much. We'll put this back in. I don't check my oil before every ride. So, you know, I'll check it maybe every 500 miles or so. So it's just as easy for me to just take the hose off and then take the cap out. And come on, I'll show you what this thing consists of. Alright, hopefully this is coming out. So here's the dipstick. It's got a pretty hefty O-ring on it. And this is, when it's on the bike, this is what you would unscrew. And like I said, just because it's such a weird angle to get this thing out, I just take the whole cap out. It's just easier, and it does have a little, if you can see it right there, an O-ring. Right there. And here's your hose. Here's your catch can. And it came with all the catch can and the hose. And the hose, and then you put the hose on it. And that's it. There's nothing special to it. And that's what I'm saying. It's no different than the Feuling. And I'm not knocking Feuling by any means. I can't see spending $279 for something with a hole in it. For 119 bucks, with I think $10 in shipping right from Mad Monkey, this works just as good. It's like I said, it may be a little bit more of a pain in the ass with this dipstick than the Feuling, but I don't know. If somebody can answer that, that's great. Now, one other difference I did notice with Meathead Moto when he did his, the Feuling, like this, is a completely round dipstick with just two notches in it for your oil levels, where the Feuling is flat and roughed up, so the oil will actually stick a little bit better to it, and it's probably a little bit easier to read. But I mean, I really honestly I don't have any problem reading on this, but that's just for your information. All right, let's go put this back on. And like I said, guys, I am not saying which one's better, which one's worse. I'm just saying that if you're looking for price, I would definitely at least look into this. Oh yeah, it's fun getting old. Take it out of the hole and don't remember which one to put it back in. Oh. This little light right here, if it ain't blinding the hell out of you, that's a one of those Harbor Freight ones. The little thing is great, man. Now see, you can see it here. You can see the dipstick is actually, once it's tight, it's actually in the back. And for, even without the hose on it, you go to take it out. And I mean, they cramp so much crap on these bikes. And I'm hitting something here. So generally you got to loosen it up anyway. All right, that's it. Just a little product review. Maybe save you a little bit of money. Hopefully. And that's all, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Everybody ride safe, be safe. And if, like I said, if you can, and if you got this far, please just check out Jersey Nick's channel and sub to it if you can. Thanks.